in the heart of Ghana, nestled among the rolling hills and red earth, there lived a young potter named Amara. Her village was small, quiet, and peaceful, surrounded by tall acacia trees that swayed in the warm breeze. Amara was known throughout the region for her incredible talent. Amara's hands were truly magical. She created the most beautiful pots, bowls, and jars in all the land. Each piece she touched seemed to come alive with spirit and beauty. People traveled from distant towns just to own a piece of her work. But Amara's most treasured creation was not made of clay. It was a simple calabash gourd that she had decorated with intricate patterns. She had spent weeks carving every line, every shape, with love and care. One evening, as the sun set behind the acacia trees, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold, an elderly woman came to Amara's workshop. The woman moved slowly, leaning on a wooden staff, her face lined with wisdom. The old woman's eyes sparkled with knowing as she looked at the decorated calabash. She reached out a weathered hand and touched the gourd gently. "This calabash is special," the old woman said, her voice soft but strong. "It holds a gift from the ancestors." Amara listened carefully as the woman continued, her heart beating faster. "When you drink from this calabash at dawn," the woman explained, "you will see the face of your destined love." Amara's breath caught in her throat. Before Amara could ask more questions, the old woman turned and disappeared into the twilight. She vanished as quietly as she had arrived, leaving only the scent of jasmine behind. Amara stood alone in her workshop, holding the magical calabash with both hands. She looked down at the gourd, wondering if it was all a dream. That night, she placed the calabash beside her sleeping mat and waited for morning. Sleep did not come easily. Her mind raced with possibilities. Before the rooster crowed, Amara woke with the sunrise. The sky was just beginning to turn pink over the horizon. She walked quietly to the village well, the air still cool and fresh. She filled the calabash with fresh water from the well, watching the ripples spread. With trembling hands, she lifted the calabash to her lips. Her heart pounded in her chest like a drum. As the cool water touched her lips, an image appeared in the calabash. The water began to glow with a soft, mystical blue light. She saw the face of a young man with kind eyes and a warm smile. His face was clear, as if he were standing right in front of her. The image showed him working with wood, carving beautiful sculptures. His hands moved with precision and grace, shaping the timber into art. Then the image faded, leaving only water. The magic disappeared as quickly as it had come. Amara's heart raced with excitement and curiosity. She felt a pull in her chest, a sense of destiny calling her name. She knew she had to find this mysterious woodcarver. She knew her life was about to change forever. The next morning, Amara told her mother about the vision in the calabash. She sat beside her mother under the shade of the baobab tree, her hands trembling as she spoke. Her mother listened with a gentle smile, her eyes filled with understanding and love. "The ancestors have spoken," her mother said softly, placing a warm hand on Amora's shoulder. "You must follow your destiny, my daughter. Do not be afraid." Her mother's words gave Amara strength and courage. She helped Amara pack a small bag with food and water for the long journey ahead. Dried mangoes, groundnuts, and cassava bread filled the cloth bag. Amara's father gave her his blessing and a sturdy walking stick carved from the iroko tree. "My child," he said, his voice thick with emotion, "may the ancestors guide your steps." The village elders gathered to wish her well, their faces serious but kind. They blessed her journey with prayers and traditional songs. The children of the village ran to her side, their eyes wide with excitement. "Will you bring us back stories?" they asked, tugging at her colorful dress. Amara laughed and promised she would return with many tales to tell. With the calabash secured on her back and her bag in hand, Amara began her journey. She took one last look at her village, at the home she had known all her life. Then she turned and walked down the dusty path, her heart both excited and nervous. She walked for 3 days through golden savannas that stretched endlessly in every direction. The sun beat down warmly on her back, but she did not tire. The wind carried the scent of wild grass and distant rain. She crossed rivers that sparkled like diamonds in the sun, their waters cool and refreshing. Fish darted beneath the surface, and birds called from the banks. She climbed hills that offered views of distant villages, their smoke rising like prayers to the sky. From the hilltop, she could see the vastness of the land before her. Each night, she slept beneath the stars and dreamed of the woodcarver's face. The Milky Way stretched across the sky like a river of light. She made a small fire and sang songs her grandmother had taught her. The darkness did not frighten her, for she felt the presence of the ancestors watching over her. On the 4th day, she came to a bustling market town. The noise and energy overwhelmed her senses at first. The air was filled with the sounds of drumming and singing, of laughter and bargaining. Vendors called out their wares, displaying colorful fabrics, fresh fruits, and handcrafted jewelry. The smell of roasting plantains and spicy stews filled the air. Amara asked the market traders if they knew of a woodcarver in the area. She moved from stall to stall, describing the face she had seen in the calabash. An elderly trader with kind eyes pointed toward the dense forest in the distance. "There is a woodcarver who lives by the great iroko tree," the trader said. "He creates the most beautiful sculptures, but he keeps to himself." The trader's voice dropped to a whisper. "Some say he waits for someone." Amara thanked the trader and followed the path toward the forest. Her heart beat faster with each step, hope filling her chest. As she walked, she clutched the calabash tightly, her heart full of hope and anticipation. The forest grew dense with ancient trees. Birds sang melodies that echoed through the branches. Finally, Amara saw smoke rising above the trees. She followed the smoke to a small clearing. There, beneath a massive iroko tree, stood a simple workshop. And there, working with focused concentration, was the woodcarver from her vision. Amara's heart skipped a beat. It was him. The man from the calabash. She watched as he carved intricate patterns into a wooden mask. His hands moved with skill and grace. Amara took a deep breath and stepped forward. The woodcarver looked up, surprised to see a stranger. "Greetings," Amara said, her voice trembling slightly. "I have traveled far to find you." The woodcarver set down his tools and studied her face. "My name is Kwame," he said. "How did you find me?" Amara reached for the calabash on her back. She filled it with water from her flask. "The ancestors sent me a vision," she explained. She drank from the calabash and felt the magic awaken. The water showed Kwame his own face, then Amara's face beside his. Kwame's eyes widened with wonder. "I have been carving this," he said, picking up a half-finished sculpture. It was a beautiful statue of a woman at a pottery wheel. "I have been dreaming of you," Kwame confessed. "The ancestors sent me visions too." Amara smiled through tears of joy. The ancestors had guided them both to this moment. Amara stayed in the forest clearing as days turned into weeks. She helped Kwame in his workshop, and he learned about her pottery. They talked for hours about their dreams and their art. They discovered they shared the same values and the same vision for the future. One evening, as they sat beneath the Iroko tree, Kwame took Amara's hands. "Will you stay with me?" he asked. "Will you build a life together?" Amara's answer was immediate. "Yes," she said. "This is where I belong." They returned to Amara's village together to seek her parents' blessing. Her parents welcomed Kwame with open arms. The village celebrated their union with 3 days of feasting and dancing. Amara and Kwame built a home between the village and the forest. Their workshop became a place where pottery and woodcarving merged into beautiful art. They taught their skills to the children of the village. And every morning, they drank from the magical calabash together. Not to see visions, but to remember the ancestors who brought them together. The elders say that when two hearts are destined to meet, the ancestors will find a way. Whether through a calabash, a dream, or a song, love will always find its path. And so, Amara and Kwame lived a life filled with creativity, love, and purpose. They proved that when you follow your destiny, the journey itself becomes a masterpiece. The end.